For this tutorial I'm going to be using my glue gun, of course, because I seem to be a bit addicted to that. And I'm going to be using face cast, but if you don't have a face cast, then try and use one of the prosthetics head that they normally use in a display window, and I'll have a link to this in my blog. So you want to start off by creating a point in the forehead, and we're just going to create a curve along the back of the head. We're going to do a few layers of these. Once you've done about 2 or 3 layers, you're then going to start layering it even more in the centre just to create a ridge, and just reinforce the edges so that it doesn't flop around. Now for the ridge part that's going to be sticking out, I'm going to do this part by eye, and I'm going to be working on my working mat. So create a curve, and then once you've layered it twice, draw lines coming down from it, and try and reinforce this a little bit at the base, otherwise they can be a little weak. With the glue that's at the very end of the glue gun, just dot it all over the place, and that way you'll really easily make the webbing. And it's really simple, so just move from one line to the next until you've webbed it enough. Once it's dry, you should be able to peel it off, and don't worry, you can be quite brutal with glue sticks, they're pretty tough. And once you've peeled it off, you'll want to hold it over the ridge, and don't be surprised if it doesn't fit exactly. Just take some scissors, cut them down, and then once you're sure you've got the right shape, we're just going to be gluing it bit by bit onto the crown. So just glue at the base and try and bring the glue gun up so that it blends in with the rest of the crown. We don't want it to look like a little bump at the very bottom of it, so try and get it to blend in with what you've already made. Once you've glued them down, try and do the webbing part again, but over the opposite side, which would have been the side touching the mat, so that it matches a little bit more. And then once you've done that, and once it's dried, you just have to peel it off. And this part can be tricky, but again, don't worry, you can be pretty rough with this, it's very flexible. Now I'm going to be pinning it onto a display head, just using a glue dot. Now if you don't have a face cast, you can use a display head like the one I'm using here to do this crown, but I just preferred using my face cast. Now along the back I'm going to be creating a spinal piece, and then after that I'm just going to peel it all off, pop it on some newspapers and spray paint it black. And you're going to want to do 3 or 4 coats of this. You could get away with 2, but you have to be very careful to make sure you get all those little nooks and crannies, because there's going to be a lot of crevices on this and it can be easy to miss something. Along the centre of the crown I'm just going to stick some rhinestones, and then with some PVA glue I'm just going to run that along the ridges, and then I'm going to dip it into some glitter. The easiest way to do this is just to pour some glitter on a paper. That way once you're done you can just curve the paper and it's really easy to pour it back into the pot, and then dip the crown into it, tap off the excess, and then once it's all done, spray paint it with hairspray just so that the glitter doesn't fall all over your face when you're applying it to your face. And that's pretty much it. You're done.